This case concerns the forced entry into my home by the police on Good Friday. Let us begin.
Let us begin with me. My name is Manuel M. I'm a software engineer. I'm a data engineer. I'm a system engineer. I'm a Christian theologian and teacher. I have a YouTube channel in which I publicly teach Christianity. My parents are Serbians from the former Yugoslavia. I'm a descendant from a guest worker. I reside in the Netherlands. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have no criminal record. I have no history of mental illness. At around midnight, I heard noises outside near the front yard. It was the Islamic month of Ramadan, and it was also Good Friday. The neighborhood has a predominantly Moroccan Muslim population. This area contains the front yards and 2 flats. The voices outside were loud, and the police were speaking at a raised volume. I was sitting in my workroom, located at the side of the backyard on the 2nd floor. I walked to the guest bedroom that faces the front yard and saw 2 police cars parked in front of my home. Approximately 6 to 8 police officers were present. One of the officers was carrying an enforcer. One of the officers was a woman. When it became clear that the group was approaching my home, I opened the window to speak with them. Before reaching my front yard, the female police officer shouted, "We received a complaint about you." One officer carrying the enforcer walked toward my front yard and placed it on the ground. The female police officer demanded that I open my front door while raising her voice. I refused and clearly stated multiple times that I felt threatened by them and would not open the door for that reason. The officer picked up the enforcer again. While the female police officer continued shouting and demanding that I open the door, I repeated my explanation at least twice. I made it fully clear that I felt threatened and that I would not open the door under any condition. From the window, I asked whether they had a search warrant. The female police officer responded that they did not, and that they did not need one. The officer with the enforcer then began forcing the door open. The side of the door containing the keyhole has glass. The glass broke, and shards were shattered across the hallway floor. I was wearing socks. I went downstairs and entered the hallway. There were 3 possible directions to move. The toilet to my right, the police forcing entry directly in front of me, and the kitchen to my left. I moved into the kitchen. As the police entered, an officer stepped into the kitchen and informed me that I was not allowed to stand there because there were knives present. He escorted me outside and placed me in forced custody in my own front yard, in full view of the surrounding neighbors. I remained in forced public custody for approximately 30 minutes. The winter had ended 10 days earlier, on the 19th, and it was cold at that hour. I was not given the opportunity to change clothes or put on a jacket. During the forced entry, one police officer stated that they were looking for a body. Aside from the female police officer, the other officers entered my home. I was told by the female police officer that someone had filed a complaint about me. Later that year, my new neighbors at number 13 informed me that the previous occupant at number 13 had complained after hearing me pray in my living room several weeks earlier. I did not receive evidence for the complaint. From my observations, the woman who filed the complaint appeared to be staying in the residence while the registered tenant was staying elsewhere. The two appeared to know each other, and he expressed frustration about the gathering she hosted. These observations indicated that she was not the registered tenant. I cannot verify her legal status with the housing corporation. At one point, an officer stepped outside holding a small fixed blade utility knife that I owned and asked me what I had been using it for. The officers eventually left. My identification card was scanned. No body was found. No items were seized. Afterwards, I discovered that the lamp that had belonged to my mother was broken. It had sentimental value for me. I contacted a repairman to fix the door. Approximately 6 to 7 hours passed before one arrived. He replaced the broken glass with wood. The wood remained visible on the inside and outside of the door for several months. At 11:25 in the morning, I filed a police complaint regarding the forced entry. I explained that I felt threatened because prior calls for assistance from me had not resulted in police action, while complaints made about me appeared to result in immediate response. I included photographs of the broken lamp. On June 20th, I received an email from a staff member working in the police internal damage assessment function, in Dutch, Schadecoördinator Eenheid. He wrote, start quote, "Following your damage claim, I contacted the involved police officers. These officers all responded that nothing was damaged during the police presence in your home. If damage had occurred, a melding schade would have been recorded in a sworn police report. Given this information, I conclude that there was no culpable conduct by the police. No unlawful action has been demonstrated, and there is no reason to accept liability on other grounds. We therefore reject liability and cannot offer compensation." End quote. After the forced entry, multiple visits by the police and the municipal health service followed. In Dutch, this agency is called de Geneeskundige en Gezondheidsdienst, abbreviated as GGD. Each time the doorbell was used, I responded to the same window, and I repeated that I felt threatened by them and did not wish to communicate. Police officers regularly struck the door or the kitchen window with their hands after ringing and shouting "police." In 2 instances, a GGD employee raised her voice and demanded that I open the door. In one instance, a GGD employee stated that the neighbors were watching. I did not receive written notice explaining the purpose of the visits. I did not receive documentation explaining the legal basis for the forced entry on Good Friday, nor clarification regarding the statement that the officers were looking for a body. During one visit, the GGD employee asked what I was doing and how I supported myself financially. Later, the GGD contacted me and they informed me that the situation could have been handled better. I filed a police complaint after each visit. Despite this, the visits continued. In one instance, I observed the group ring the doorbell at number 9 before coming to my home. During the same period, loud gatherings at number 13 continued almost daily from approximately 8 in the evening to 6 in the morning. I made numerous calls to the police during April regarding the noise. Near 6 on one morning, police officers were finally dispatched to number 13. They heard the loud music and asked for the volume to be lowered, then left. This concludes the factual reconstruction of the forced entry on Good Friday and the events that immediately followed. In part 2, we will examine the short administrative police report regarding the house invasion that was provided to the GGD.